Hello and welcome, Lynx here. We are playing Sakura Succubus 8. It's the next day, the next morning. For technically yesterday, well, it went how it went. With Alice checking out what Cosmos's job is about. And also we had a really nice, heartwarming scene afterwards. Let's see what awaits us today. Are we going to Marina or are we not? Like... I yawn as I slide into my place at the kitchen table, pressing one hand to my mouth to stifle it. I'm so weary. I feel like I could fall face first onto the table. My exhaustion is so great, I might actually welcome Alice's cooking, for maybe chatting would be a better descriptor of what she does in the kitchen. Another omelette like the one she whipped up yesterday would wake me up. If nothing else, there is a non-zero chance, I suppose, that ingesting more food like that might put me into an early grave instead. Maybe it's for the best then that Alice didn't act as today's chef. It looks like breakfast was made by US dainty hands instead. You was wearing a frilly white apron when I entered the kitchen, but she's already taken off and now she's busy plating up food for me and Alice. Good morning, Hiroki. I hope you slept well, for it doesn't look like you did. You have a full box under your eyes. If I didn't like you as much as I do, I would say that you look rather unattractive. But maybe getting some food in you will perk you up. Gee, I hope so. And don't worry about being insulting. I know I look like hot trash right now. You are too handsome to ever look like trash, Hiroki. I think you are very good looking at least. And if you do seem worried, then that is only because I was insensitive and I woke you. This is all my fault. If you wish to blame anybody for Hiroki's stay late, then please blame me. You may even punish me if you wish. It would be well deserved. I would let you dip my face in the miso soup if you want me to, no matter how hot it might be. I'll never learn not to be a nuisance otherwise. Now what are you babbling about? Of course I'm not going to dip your face in the miso soup. I've only just prepared it and it's very hot, it will hurt. But well, that was the point. It wouldn't be a proper punishment otherwise. Are you saying that you want me to punish you then? US smiles in that, you know, way that you don't want her to see her smile. How interesting. I did not know you were such a masochist. I will file that away for your future reference. But for the moment, I would prefer it if you ate my food, rather than trying to wash your face in it. What do you think, Hiroki? I do not cook very often, but I flatter myself I'm decent enough at it. I think you're underselling yourself. This looks more than decent, Yue. The food Yue has prepared for me is pretty fancy, as a matter of fact. She's made miso soup like Alice mentioned, but there's also steamed rice, a must-have with any Japanese-style breakfast, some sort of fish, and a cucumber salad. This fare might be pretty simple but looks well made, and it's all neatly presented. It reminds me a lot of Hifumi's cooking, actually, for it doesn't look quite as polished. While Hifumi's food is so good, it would have come from a top-end restaurant. US food has more homey, handmade look to it. It doesn't diminish the value of US cooking, however. If anything, it makes it more charming. I reach for the fish with my chopsticks, then dip it into the dish of soy sauce you thoughtfully brought to the table. I pop the piece of fish in my mouth and... the freshness of the fish assails my taste buds the moment it lands on my tongue. It really is good. Oh, this is great, you're a natural. Not entirely. US smiles awkwardly. I was very clumsy in the kitchen when I first began my lessons. I would make a lot of simple mistakes. Even you make mistakes like you, Oh yes, a whole host of them. I used to cut myself when I was peeling vegetables. Never happened to me. And I mistook the salt for the sugar with alarming regularity. Never happened to me. I was hopeless. But Hifumi never lost faith in me. She acted as my teacher in the culinary arts, and she was really quite good at it. She was very patient and she never shouted at me when I made a mistake.
Sounds like Hifumi.
If it wasn't for her, I would not be half as good at cooking as I am now. My skills still pale in comparison to hers, but I think the food I am now capable of making is at least edible.
It's more of an edible. It was really good. I'm impressed.
Me too! Or at least I would say that, but this shouldn't be too much of a surprise. You're amazing, milady, so it stands to reason that you'll be good at cooking too. You're the best! I think you are being a bit too fanciful with your praises. My fare is all rather simple, as I have said. But thank you. Your kind words are most appreciated. Well, of course, we're going to be kind to you. Deserve it. This rice is so fluffy, and this salad is so refreshing. I never knew cucumbers could taste so good.
I like cucumbers.
Eating this is replenishing my energy. I feel raring to go. Well, good. I'm glad of that because you will need a lot of energy today. What will I need the energy for? Oh, did I not mention it?
I knew it.
Marina is throwing a charity ball tonight. I thought I might as well take you with me. It will be a good opportunity.
Oh, yeah. That ball.
Did you know about it too, Hiroki?
I did, yeah. It slipped my mind, but Marina invited me to a ball a few weeks ago to take some photos. Oh. I'm supposed to head on over there myself, yeah.
Wonderful. Then we can all go together. That works out nicely.
Did Marina invite you to the ball too, you, eh? You might be the queen of the Succubus realm, but I can't imagine Marina going out of her way to bequeath upon you an invitation to this illustrious event. There is no love lost between Marina and Yue. They get along about as well as cats and dogs. Whenever they spend a degree of time in one another's company, they always end up butting heads, which is why it doesn't really surprise me when I say USS.
Naturally, she did not invite me. She would probably be happier if I did not attend at all.
But you still mean to go?
Of course! She cannot very well turn me away at the door, not when I'm her queen. I have much more authority than she does, and I do not feel at all ashamed about abusing it. It is my right as a monarch, and in any case, I'm not proposing this plan to satiate my own curiosity. I have no particular desire to attend this ball myself. I'm only suggesting it because I think it will be good for Alice. For me? Yes, for you. I would like for you to use this as an opportunity to observe Marina, like you observed the others yesterday, and see how she conducts herself with the various politicians whose favors she cards. You never know, you might be able to learn something from watching her. Not that I think there is anything particularly remarkable about Marina myself. I find her a uniquely unpleasant woman, but I will not dismiss her offhand. She has been able to build quite a successful business. That must mean that she possesses something akin to intelligence.
Wow, that's very generous of you.
I think so too. See, I can be courteous when I wish, even about a disagreeable woman like Marina. Now, do it up, Alice. You will need as much energy as you can muster. Alright, that's a good idea, but...
Alice nibbles her lower lip. She looks so anxious, I feel obliged to ask her a few questions. Are you worried about the ball?
Well, obviously. I've never been to a fancy event like that before, and I didn't even know I'd be going until a minute ago. What am I supposed to wear? How am I supposed to act? What if I make an idiot of myself? I don't want to ruin everything.
I'm sure you won't ruin everything. It suggests... I feel like this one suggests kind of like she might ruin something. I'm sure it will be fine, Alice. Let's go with that.
Do you really think so?
Of course, you will be with you, won't she? I'm sure she'll keep a close eye on you.
That's right, I will. I'll be sure to give you advice, so try not to fret. Even if that is your special skill. Would you really do that for me? Of course. I am familiar with incidents like this, fortunately being royalty, so it should not be too hard for me to ingratiate with the crowd. You need only follow my lead. Not sure about this. I'll probably screw up again. You might, if you adapt to that attitude, which is why you need to be positive. Do try to look on the bright side. It will do much to improve your mood, I promise. That's easier said than done, but... Alright. I'll do my best, I guess. I just hope you don't grow to regret putting so much faith in me.
Alice, as it soon transpires, doesn't own any dresses which would be suitable for a night spent at a fancy ball, something that Yue takes it upon herself to correct. Yue takes Alice out shortly after breakfast to buy a dress, alongside some matching shoes and some fancy accessories. Ooh.
We need to pretty you up, Alice. It's urgent. You're pretty enough as it is, but you won't stand out if you don't make a bit more of an effort with your appearance. I want everybody's eyes to be on you at the ball. I'm going to help you make a splash no matter what. Everybody!
Alice hurries along in Yue's wake, her eyes wide with worry.
Isn't that going a bit too far? I don't know if I want everybody staring at me. You might not like it, but you'll have to get used to it if you want to remain in the Japan with Hiroki. You need to attain a certain level of fame if you want to keep replenishing your magical energy. You don't want to become so weak that your body begins to disintegrate, do you? Well, of course I don't. That sounds horrible. That is because it is horrible. I'm glad you have some sense of self-preservation, regardless how shy you might be. This proves you are not a total lost cause. Now, do try to look on the bright side. You never know. You've not been the center of attention before. You might find that you rather enjoy it after a bit of exposure. I'm not sure about that. But alright, Lady Yue, I'll try to trust you. Your judgment is superior to mine after all. I'm sure you know what's the best for me, even if I do not always know what is the best for myself. Well, of course I do. I'm the queen of the Succubus realm. My judgment cannot be faulted. Sure. Oh, and all of that nonsense.
And all of the... Okay. Oh, now that was a surprisingly truncated laugh. Maybe he was a bit self-conscious about acting too self-important outdoors surrounded by people. That might be the case. I guess she doesn't want to court any funny looks. You might be a member of her Succubus royalty, but she's pretty good at blending in with ordinary people. Which is good. I guess that does track for. She did used to live in the human realm for a while. That is correct. Alice looks a little less stressed about the prospect of dressing up, which is nice, but I'm still a bit confused about all of this. Hey, Yue.
What is it, Hiroki?
I was just wondering, you're going to buy a new outfit for Alice, right?
Yes, I believe that has already been established. Why do you ask?
Well, I was wondering why you wanted me to come along. I don't really know anything about women's fashion. Oh boy, my pocket is... my pocket. My wallet in the pocket of my trousers is getting scared right now a little bit, you know.
I doubt I'd be of any use. You might doubt yourself, but I do not. If I did not have any of use for you, I would not have invited you along with us on this jaunt. You can always give your opinions. That would be invaluable.
I guess, but maybe you'd have better luck bringing Cosmos along. She seems to know a lot about clothes.
Ah yes, Cosmos did have an awful lot of clothes in her home. She has such an eclectic taste. You might say eclectic, but I think eccentric would be more accurate. Cosmos's outfits are eye-catching enough, certainly, but I do not think her favorite outfits are suitable for an upscale event like Marina's ball.
That is true.
The outfits she likes to wear are not particularly elegant. In fact, I find them rather gaudy.
I mean, in a way you are correct.
If given her way, she would probably have Alice wearing cat ears and a collar to a ball. which is not the look I want to go for.
Obviously, yeah. Oh, right. That's a good point. Well, it's true enough, Cosmos does have a passion for clothes. You is correct when she says that clothes she wears all tends to be strange. I guess that's idea's dead in the water then. Alright, fine. I don't mind giving my opinions on Alice's outfit. I can't promise I'll be of much use, but I might have a slightly more discerning eye than Cosmos does at least.
I have no doubts on that score. I think your tastes are exemplary.
You do?
Of course I do. They must be. You are dating me, after all.
I'm also dating Cosmos, but yeah. Huh.
Ooh. Thumbnail.
This is so good. Yes. 1000 times yes.
So what do you think, Hiroki?
Yue stands to one side, her arm outstretched, so as to better show Alice off to me. Yue has been dragging the both of us around numerous high-end boutiques for the last few hours, in a meticulous hunt for the perfect ball gown that will show off Alice's charms. I've not been finding today's shopping trip all that exhilarating, if I'm being totally honest. I don't get that. Going on a shopping trip with someone you like? Hell yeah. I've been trailing along in US wake, feeling like a third wheel. I don't think I've made any significant contributions all day, for my feet are starting to hurt from all of my traipsing. Yue meanwhile has been incredibly exacting in her criteria for the perfect ball gown. I'm not sure what she's judging these garments on, but she'd had Alice try on, then discard any number of pieces which all looked nice to me. This little routine has lasted for such a long time that I was starting to lose faith that Yue would ever find something fitting. This dress, however, seems to have captured Yue's attention in the way none of the others have, and after being summoned to the fitting room, I think I can see why.
This is a nice find, isn't it? It didn't look like much when it was on the hanger, but I could tell there was something special about it. I thought the cut would flatter Alice's body, and the color would complement her pale skin. It looks like I was right. Don't you think she's gorgeous? I think gorgeous might be a bit of a stretch. My looks aren't anything that special.
Yes, they are.
If I do look nice, it's because of this dress. You're being too kind. Oh, nonsense.
Carelessly, Yue waves one hand.
The dress is very nice, yes, of course it would be, but when I chose it, but it would not look half so nice if it was on display on a featureless mannequin. You are the only one who's bringing this garment to life, Alice. Why, it is almost as though it was made with you in mind. I think you look incredible. Do you not agree, Hiroki?
Hell yeah, I agree. God damn it. Come on, she looks incredible. Of course, you look amazing, Alice. Really amazing. For a second there, I almost didn't recognize you. I did recognize you, but, you know.
Oh,
Alice's face, which was already flushed, turns even redder.
I'm glad to hear you say that, Hiroki. But is that a good thing? Does it not imply it would be bad if I did look like myself?
No, I didn't mean it like that. Crap, I guess that's a classic instance of my big mouth striking again. There's a reason I'm a photographer, not a politician. I'm not good with speeches. I just meant, you look so gorgeous, it feels like I'm seeing you in a brand new light. You look like a model.
I know, right? She's almost too perfect to be true. I knew I made the right decision, having Alice try on so many garments. I realized it might have been a tedious affair for you, Hiroki, but it helped me discover what might suit her best. I can't imagine we'll find any other dress better suited to Alice, not unless we're to commission one. Which of course would be impossible, we do not have the time for it. This dress is the one she ought to wear for the ball. I do not think anybody else would suit it so well.
I agree with you there. It really is like that dress was made for Alice. It's kind of incredible, really. I didn't know you had such an eye for the fashion, Yue.
Of course I do! As the queen of all the Succubi, my tastes are unparalleled, particularly when it comes to the finer things. Don't tell me you were beginning to doubt my aesthetic sensibilities, Hiroki.
Oh, no, of course not. I always had complete faith in you, I swear.
Hmm.
Yue purses her lips together.
It is rather suspect how your voice is wavering like that. But no matter. Now that we have secured a fitting dress for you, For you, Alice, Marina's ball is our next destination. I am certain you will make a stunning first impression. How could you not? You really do look gorgeous.
She does look gorgeous, indeed. Later that night. Oh, we get to see Marina as well. Let's go.
Whoa! Yue looks so good in this as well. So this is what ball is like. God bless me. This is all so... So what? Are you finding this exciting? Alice, is it exhilarating?
I bet she'll say something like uncomfortable.
Imagine you must be stuck for words. No, I was going to say this is all very intriguing, enjoyable, anxiety-inducing, actually.
And awkwardly giggling, Alice glances about. Her fingers curl together at her front, as do I. This charity event of Marina's is being held at the same venue as the one I attended last year, so I'm familiar with my surroundings to an extent. The ceiling is high, with several golden chandeliers suspended from it, and the dance floor is shiny and reflective. Plinths are set up around the periphery of the vast room, upon which flowers are arranged in vases which doubtless cost more than a month of my salary, and the curtains which fringe the large windows are a rich wine red. From beyond these windows I can see the night sky festooned with twinkling stars. In the past I probably would have been intimidated by such an extravagant room, but now I'm used to it. I guess I've been to so many places this last year that my outlook on life has shifted a little. I can remember well enough how it felt to be in Alice's shoes, however, due to the luxuries that people like Marina take for granted and more than a little overwhelmed. I feel sorry for her actually. She looks petrified. It will be okay, Alice. I know this might be a lot to take in, but you won't be alone. You and I are here, and we'll look out for you.
Right, that knowledge does make me feel a bit better, I suppose. Thank you, Hiroki, for your support, although... It's just my imagination, or are a lot of people staring at me?
Huh. Now that Alice mentions it, she does seem to be courting a lot of attention. More than a few heads had swiveled in her direction since she set foot in the ballroom, and I think I know why. The dress that Yue picked up for Alice is doing an excellent job of highlighting her proportions. The dress is clean without being indecent, and it showcases quite a lot of her bust. Alice always looks pretty, but she looks even prettier than usual now, standing beneath the lights of the numerous chandeliers. She's so striking, I wouldn't be surprised if half the men here have fallen for her, and that pisses me off a little. Yue looks beautiful too, doesn't she, always? But she pared her makeup down on purpose in order to help Alice stand out more. She said she didn't want to steal the spotlight from Alice. Yue's plan seems to have been a huge success if all the stairs Alice is courting are to be believed. And all of the curious whispers too.
Just who is that charming vision of loveliness?
Is she no, Chris? Singer, she must be famous, surely with a face like that.
Wow! She's such a darling! Look at her heart-shaped face!
Look at that!
Look at those eyes!
And look at those legs!
Is she afraid of Miss Wakatsuki's?
I will be surprised Miss Wakatsuki's excellent taste as per usual. The company she keeps is truly second to none. This is why I always appreciate being invited to these events of hers. There is no better opportunity to, network with pretty women. And potential business partners too, of course.
Alice must be able to hear at least some of those whispers because her cheeks turned pink. Surely she ducks for cover behind my back, trembling all the while. She looks so fearful, she can't meet anybody's gaze. Now this might be a problem. Are you alright, Alice?
Oh, I'm alright. I'm just not used to this much attention. This is all very new to me. But I'll do my best to take it in my stride. If I'm going to attain the same levels of fame as my fellow Succubi, I need to be able to endure at least this much. I have to stop being so silly.
Yeah, you really should. I don't think you're silly. Let's go with that. Hey, I finally hand, then give it a gentle squeeze. Don't be so hard on yourself. I know it comes naturally to you, but it's normal to be anxious when you're stepping out of your comfort zone. True. I don't like getting out of my comfort zone.
Is it really?
Of course, I don't think there is anything wrong with you, but if you're worried, you should try to take deep breaths. Just relax, I'll be with you.
Alright, deep breaths. I'll do my best.
Alice begins to inhale and exhale in a very exaggerated way, one hand pressed against her chest all the while. My advice was pretty general, and I didn't think she'd take it quite this seriously. She's being so serious about this, in fact I'm afraid she might hyperventilate. I've started to wonder if I should tell her to dial things down a notch. You don't need to breathe quite that deeply, no, but...
Hiroki, darling, it is very good to see you.
A familiar voice captures my attention. That and the regular sound of souls clad in high heels approaching me from across the ballroom. Wakatsuki Marina is approaching me, wearing a skin-tight red gown, which looks rather similar to the one I saw her wearing during our last charity ball. I'm unsure whether it is the same gown, however given Marina's mentions that she tries to not repeat outfits at events like this. Maybe it's a dress made in a similar style but in different company, who knows? Well, whatever, like... It doesn't matter what brand of dress Marina's wearing really. All I know is it's a very expensive, high-end dress which was made to design. The red dress clings to Marina's every single curve, showing off just how impressive her body is. Marina looks great, but that's no surprise. She always looks great. Hey Marina, good to see you again.
You too, darling. It feels like it has been far too long since last we were able to spend any quality time together. I've been awfully busy with the preparations for this ball, and I know that you've been busy yourself. Why?
Marina's gaze flickers to Alice and Yue, both of whom are flanking me.
Oh, you really are popular. It seems like I never see you without a +1 nowadays. Or in this case, a +2. I'm glad to have so many women fawning over you, but part of me wishes we could make more time for one another. If only our schedules were not so busy. Even if your schedule was less packed, Marina, I doubt Hiroki would want to spend much time with you anyway. I would like to spend time with her as well. Come on!
Don't be harsh on her like that.
Oh?
Marina's green eyes flash dangerously, but her voice is icily polite when she addresses Yue.
And what makes you say that, Yue? Common sense, really. Let us look at this logically. Why would Hiroki wish to spend more time with you? He has a lot of younger, prettier women in his harem who are vying for his attention, much like you. Why do you think he would prefer to spend time with, a beautiful queen like myself with smooth, unblemished skin, or an old has-been like yourself who is already in her 30s?
Why do you pick a fight right now? Please, stop. I know you dislike each other, but stop.
If I were in Hiroki's shoes, I know who I would choose. Why you?
Marina grits her teeth together, her facade of calm momentarily shattered, then takes a step forward. Right, this might be a good thumbnail as well. That's very problematic. Her chest presses against Yue's and their eyes bore into one another's. It's getting so charged in here I swear I can see sparks flying between them. This always happens whenever Marina and Yue get together. Always. Marina doesn't seem to have much respect for Yue despite Yue being her superior because Yue is younger than she is and has a fiery temper. Yue meanwhile is always trying to rile Marina up largely because of her insolence. They make for quite a dangerous combination. I hope they don't start pulling one another's hair. That cause a huge scandal.
You can call me whatever you wish you were, but that does not change the facts. What facts? That Hiroki does seem to be rather fond of me, even if my age is more advanced than yours. I may be a bit older than the others, but that means I'm more experienced.
Okay, she's a Succubi, so it's fine to say. In real life, you are getting minus points. If you say you are more experienced, minus points. Minus points. Like, we don't really want used goods, if you know what I mean. Which I bet you know.
I know better how to make Hiroki feel good, unlike you. I imagine when you and Hiroki are together, you think of nothing save your own pleasure rather than his own. You're so selfish. I can imagine you being a good lover, even if your skin is a bit tighter.
Don't comment on that. Don't comment on that.
Tighter is better for... That is completely irrelevant to making another feel good. Oh, so you think one's appearance is irrelevant when it comes to an amorous affairs?
US North.
That shows how much you know, Marina. I thought you were meant to be an adult, but your outlook is so fully naive. Men are more shallow than you might think. A young, fresh flower will always be more valued than an old woman, even if the woman does have experience.
No, stop. Young, fresh flower will be more valued than older woman if that woman has more experience. Yes. Again, we as men prefer not used goods, if you know what I mean, which I bet you do.
In fact, in many cases, that experience will count against her.
Let's go! She's correct about that.
It might with some men, but Hiroki is not like that. He's a gentleman, and he has always been very complimentary towards me.
Again, why are we fighting?
Are you sure he's not doing that because he feels sorry for you? Maybe he just doesn't want to hurt your feelings. I mean, you said it yourself, he's a gentleman. You...
Marina scolds.
You take it back. Or what? Or I will make you regret it. Oh, now that's interesting. And how are you going to do that? I hope you're not forgetting we're in a public place. It would reflect badly upon you if you got into a fight right now in front of all of these important men and women. And though I'm younger than you, I'm your queen. You ought to afford me some respect. If you dare threaten me again, I can use my authority to have you whipped back in the Succubus realm. Would you like that, Marina? Don't tell me, despite your pretensions to the contrary, that you're actually a masochist.
She actually is.
You biatch! How an insolent little girl like you was able to become the queen of the Succubus realm is beyond me. You are not suited to it.
Actually, she's very suited to it.
Why you ought to...
Oi everyone, let's not fight. It'd be better if you all drank our troubles away instead.
Cosmos?
Yes, that's right.
No, that would be like...
Yes, that's right. Come on, you two. Lighten up, then drink up. The night's still young, and there is plenty of beer to go around.
Huh? I turned my head, my attention diverted away from... Oh, that must have been Hazel. Diverted away from Maria and Hue, and soon come face to face with Cosmos and Hazel. Let's go! Dude, why is this episode having so many good thumbnails options? Cosmos! Hazel!
That's right. It's good to see you again, Hiroki. How been my buddy, my pal? I hope life's been treating you well. Same here. I hope you've been looking after yourself, for maybe you seem a little bit tired.
We literally met yesterday.
Would you like something to drink? That's good call. Cosmos, drink up, Hiroki. Life's too short not to. Let's have a ball. I mean, we might as well. We are at a literal ball right now. Hey.
Wow, I mean, this is really something. Hey, Hazel's always brimming with energy 24/7. It seems like some of her enthusiasm has rubbed off on our resident cult girl because Cosmos looks similarly buzzed. They're both smiling so brightly their faces are sparkling. As for their outfits, meanwhile, kinda Bavarish festival? Well, I've never seen them dressed like this before. Doesn't it? Like the festival in Bavaria, the beer festival? Whatever it was called, I'm sorry, I don't remember. Hazel and Cosmos have both forgone their casual clothes and their dress in the attire of your stereotypical German bar wench. Let's go, I was correct. Complete with ruffled white blouses and the customary marks of beer in both hints. Now this is an interesting sight. I'm not unaccustomed to Cosmos dressing up in weird outfits. It's part of her brand, after all, being famous is celeb. But Hazel doesn't often go in for outfits like this. Her clothes tend to be more on the practical side. If you count going commando at all times as being practical, I guess. Now to think about it, Hazel's skirt is pretty short. She's wearing underwear, isn't she? It's not like I can come out and ask, but I'm kind of curious. Wow, well, this is a bit of surprise. I had no idea you were going to be here as well.
Neither did I. Not until the last minute. I hired plenty of catering staff for this event beforehand, but several people had to bow out at the last minute owing to sudden illness. Finding myself short-staffed and with only precious hours before the event was set to begin, I had to seek out some external help with very little notice. I asked Cosmos and Hazel if they wouldn't mind coming here to serve drinks to our guests, and they leapt at the chance. They were so enthusiastic, it was a bit surprising. I did not think they would be so interested. Well, of course I was interested. I've never been to one of those fancy schmancy events before. I want to take a look at how they operate Echelon Slave with my own two eyes. Me too. I've never been to a ball before. I feel a bit like Cinderella. But instead of wearing fancy dress, I'm working as a barmaid instead. I don't have a pumpkin carriage to take me back home either.
Cosmos looks at me, a shy smile playing about her lips.
But I do have a handsome prince right here.
Smooth. Very smooth.
Wow, how corny.
Both you and Marina react to this girlish remark of Cosmos's in a similar manner, which arc derision until they catch one another's eyes. Then, perhaps perturbed by their shared opinion on this topic, they both harumph.
I don't know if I'll have enough time to dance with Hiroki, since I'm supposed to be working, but I'm happy to see you. Wherever you go, I want to follow. I have no problems being your cute puppy, hey? Ha! But Cosmos, I thought you were supposed to be a kitty. I'll be whatever Hiroki wants me to be. I'd do anything to make him happy. He's my adorable boyfriend after all. He only needs to ask me to jump and I'll ask, how high? If he wants me to bark, I'll do in an instant, and if he wants me to get down all fours, then... Alright, that will be quiet enough of that. I suppose I ought to count myself lucky, after hearing that little spiel, that you didn't come here wearing a collar, Cosmos. For I can't say your actual outfit is much better. Didn't I tell you to dress appropriate for the occasion? Isn't this appropriate? It would be, maybe, if you were in a beer hall in Munich, but you were in the middle of Tokyo, and we were at a charity event no less. When I told you to dress appropriately, I meant you ought to wear something less ostentatious. None of the other waitstaff are dressed up like that. They're all in blouses and pants. Well, I know that.
Cosmos pouts.
But it's boring, Marina. Sometimes it's better to be boring. I prefer practicality over making an unnecessary scene. But I couldn't show up to this event wearing boring black pants, Marina. That would be an insult. You work really hard setting this event up, so I figured I had to work hard on my appearance too. I want to show you how seriously I was taking this. So you decided to dress like you're going to a costume party? No! I want to dress like the good, obedient, subservient, well-dressed that I am. I'm doing this for your sake, Marina. Yeah, Marina! Cosmos Page is looking through her cosplay wardrobe for suitable outfits for this event. Don't you want to praise her for her hard work? She's a cute puppy, and she deserves all of her headbutts in the world. Do you really think that?
Of course I do! You're adorable! If my heart didn't already belong to Landy, I'd probably start filling you up myself. Oh my, I didn't know that German barmaids were so very popular. I feel even more confident that this was the right outfit to wear now.
Goodness.
Marina lost her eyes. She looks rather fed up with Cosmos and Hazel's comedy routine, and I can't say I blame her. For the pair of them do look cute in their outfits, it isn't really serving the high-class vibes I'm sure Marina wanted to her event to exude. I suppose it's too late to ask the pair of you... Oh, I suppose it's too late to ask the pair of you to change after you've spent the last 15 minutes fitting around those silly outfits already, but I cannot say I approve of this. You're drawing far too much attention to yourselves.
Ain't that a good thing, Marina? You ought to be glad you have a couple of buxom barmaids at your disposal who are drawing a bunch of eyeballs. I bet there will be lots of newspaper articles written about us tomorrow,
Yes, that is what I'm worried about. I don't want to upstaging the actual event.
Makes sense.
I can understand Cosmos dressing like this, but why did you decide to go along with it, Hazel? Couldn't you have reined her in?
I could, I guess. But that wouldn't be any fun.
So you decided to dress stupidly for the sake of your own amusement?
More or less. I mean, life's short, like I said. I want to have all sorts of experiences while I still can. And I can't say I've ever dressed up like this before. When is next time I get an opportunity to cosplay as a German barmaid, huh?
Hopefully, never. I don't think it suits you.
What do you mean?
It does, actually. She looks good. They both look good in this.
You don't?
Not particularly. You look perfectly foolish. I just hope you remember to wear the underwear today, if nothing else.
Well, about that.
Hazel?
Marina glowers Hazel, danger written upon every facet of her face.
Don't tell me you came to my charity event, which was devised to raise funds for local children's hospital, without wearing underwear.
Hey, it's not like it was a conscious decision, Marina. It just slipped my mind.
Did it now?
Yeah, I mean, I never wear underwear. It's so constricting. I wouldn't be able to serve any drinks if I had something on me beneath my skirt. I'd be totally useless. I can't do anything unless there's a bit of breeze down there.
Oh, for the love of...
Marina's left eye twitches. It looks like she's trying to resist the urge to slap Hazel across the face, and I can't say I blame her. I don't have that feeling. Coming to a fancy event like this, sans underwear does sound like a bit of a social faux pas. True. This is a wardrobe action just waiting to happen. True. Marina breathes in through the nose, then out through her mouth. Then after a pause she says,
You'd best count yourself lucky that we're at a crowded public event, Hazel. If it weren't for all those people, I would have no qualms in taking you aside and teaching you a lesson.
A lesson, huh? That sounds kind of scary.
It was supposed to. I can forgive Cosmos for being foolish, but I thought you had a better head on your shoulders. If I need to beat some sense into you, then I will.
Marina glances about the ballroom. A well-dressed woman with a bouffant of lacquered hair piled high on her head is approaching, her tall heels clacking against the floor. This woman is draped in so many jewels, she looks a bit like a butterfly. She's very sparkly. Oh my god, I think I know who that is. I don't know who this woman is, but I imagine based on Mary's reaction that she's somebody of some import. Is she a politician? Oh, so I don't know who that is.
But that you'll have to wait for later. Please excuse me, I have business to attend to. Make sure you work hard, you two. You're already on thin ice as it is. Don't try my temper further, for your own sakes. Otherwise you'll be sorry.
Marina shoots Hazel one last lingering look, then sets off to waylay the bejeweled woman with the bouffant. Hazel sighs in her departure, her shoulders slumping, then kicks at the floor with the tip of her feet.
Gee, I swear Marina has it out for me. I've not even done anything to upset her yet. I really have been working hard.
You presses her lips together.
I suppose I can believe that. You might act inelegant, but you have always had a good work ethic, if nothing else. Thank you, kind lady Yue. You're too nice. That's why I like you so much. You're way softer on me than that awful old Marina. Plus, you're really pretty, especially in that dress. It makes you look even more gorgeous than usual, which is no mean feat. You always look incredible. Now, would you like something to drink, lady? What about you, Hiroki?
I accept the proffered glass of beer, which in my case is tea, over here from Hazel's hands, then look around the ballroom. I'm curious as to whether I will find any more familiar faces during my speech. Search, and as soon as it transpires. Wait, Hifumi can play the piano? Ah. I recognize those two women over by the piano. There is an elegant, dark-haired woman wearing a sumptuous kimono who's sitting at the stool of the piano, her slender white fingers poised over the keys. Dude, Hifumi can do anything. She looks wonderful as well. Ayu looks nice as well, I guess. No, she looks good as well, obviously. A few moments of silence pass, and then she sets down her hands. A piano medley soon fills the air, one which is soft and gentle but uplifting at the same time. This is, by the way, another thumbnail option. That would be so cool if you could set up like a thumbnail that changes. Oh, it would be so perfect for visual novels. Or if you could set up like a few options. Oh, that would be so perfect as well. Oh my god. YouTube, I just sold you a freaking amazing idea. For free, in a way. Damn it. It is obvious that this woman is a skilled pianist. One who is very talented with her fingers. She must have been studying the piano for a long time. Something which is news to me. I recognize the one by the piano, adorned for she's in a kimono, more sumptuous than the ones she usually wears. Looks so good, yeah. I like it. That's Yamamoto Hifumi, the popular actress and seasoned karuta player. Well, it looks like I'll need to tack another accomplishment onto her already exhaustive list of them. She's a gifted pianist too. I had no idea she was so talented. Hifumi released a league of her own. Yeah. Hifumi isn't on her own either. There is a woman with long orange tresses sitting up on the lid of the piano, holding a microphone in her hand, but, well, if you get two of them in one place, obviously my attention would be on Hifumi. The soothing piano chords wash through the ballroom, building slowly to a crescendo. And then the orange-haired woman opens her mouth and begins to sing. Please don't make me sing. The woman's voice is every bit as pure and clear as the piano, which underscores it. She sounds very sweet like an angel, but her voice has a significant degree of power to it. It's obvious she's talented at singing, just like Hifumi is with the piano. Her voice is clear and unwavering, like a stream of crystal in water. It's so incredible, I find myself being swept away by it. I know this woman too. This is Ikue Ayu. I always knew Ayu was a good singer, but she usually sings cute, high-energy pop songs with light, irreverent lyrics. I've not heard Ayu tackle a serious ballad like this before. It's quite unlike her existing discography, but it suits her vocal register. I was singing compliments Hifumi's piano playing perfectly. Their performance is an aural treat, one which is making my head tingle. I'm going to guess Marina called these two here to provide entertainment for her guests. If that is the case, then they are both doing an incredible job. For a few moments, I can't tear my eyes away from them. All I can do is stand there, struck dumb. It's rare to see Hifumi and Ayu together, but they might make for a better combination than I thought. I look at them for a few moments, struck down by their sheer raw talent. But eventually return to my senses. Oof. I wasn't invited to this event so I could stand around looking like a scarecrow. I'm supposed to be taking photographs, and that's what I'm going to do right now. Oh, actually, a battery in... Yeah, it's actually totally dead. I just got a prompt that the battery in my photo, in my camera is dead. I pass the next half hour or so flitting through the well-dressed crowd snapping photos. I take a view of Cosmos and Hazel. At their insistence, Cosmos seems particularly proud of her barmaid outfit, but I divert most of my attention towards the more well-known guests who've attended this event. I'm unable to secure a few impromptu interviews as I take photos with some rather important looking people of political significance. I continue my work bustling this way and that when...
Excuse me, Hiroki.
Alice calls out to me. It looks like there is something she wants to tell me. Well, obviously, or she wouldn't have called out to me. But she can't quite muster up the courage. She's staring at the floor, her face flushed. I guess I should take the initiative. Hi, Alice. What's up?
Oh, it's nothing that important, really. I don't want to be bothered, but I was wondering.
She's fidgety.
This is my very first time going to ball, and as far as I know, it might be my last. I'm not very good with events like this, where there are a lot of people and...
I'm aware of that. It's so obvious she doesn't even need to state it.
So, this is all a bit overwhelming. I don't understand that, but I was wondering, or maybe you could say I was hoping...
Oh.
It's alright if you're too busy, of course, but if you don't have anything else to do, then... would you mind dancing with a shy, awkward, clumsy girl like me?
Huh? So that's why she looks so self-conscious, is it? I was wondering. It's kind of fun that she gets worked up over such a simple request. But maybe, for Alice, this isn't simple. Plucking up the courage to approach me must have been difficult, but she still did it. I think that's pretty impressive, so much so. I'm more than happy to put my camera away for a few moments. I can always take photos later. Of course, that's fine. I'd love to dance with you.
Would you really?
Of course, why wouldn't I? Dancing with a pretty girl like you would be an immense honor.
Oh, please.
Alice waves a hand in my direction, perhaps in an attempt to divert my previous compliment.
I'm not that pretty, really. I'm sullen and I'm too serious. I don't think I stand out very much. Not like Marina, who's so mature, or Ayu, who's so sparkly. I don't have any particular talents, and I've never danced before. I'm a little uncoordinated, so I'll probably step on your feet too. I doubt dancing with me will feel all that good. If you don't want to, you can just turn me down. I'm sure I have other more important things to do anyway.
Oi! Don't put yourself down so much. I know you're self-conscious, but harping on about your own supposed failing won't help. You need to try and be more positive.
That's what you said too.
And she's right.
But I'm not very good at it. It's too much of a... I'm too much of a downer. I think this is the way I was born. But I can try and be more cheerful if you think it would be to my benefit.
I'm sure it would. I can see why you're so pessimistic about yourself. Not when you're so beautiful. You ought to be more confident.
I'm not sure if I'm cut out for being confident. But since you said you'd dance with me, I guess I should give it a go. I do want to try it, just don't be too disappointed, will you, if I make some mistakes?
My expectations are pretty low anyways. What's with the dancewear? No. I doubt you could disappoint me in that outfit. Yeah. Don't worry. I doubt you could disappoint me. Not when you're dressed like that. You really do look good. I approach Alice, then snake an arm around her slender waist, pulling her body against me, so she squeaks. Kee! And if you do fall over, I'll consider it a bonus. You mean fall over for you again? Right? Having a cutie like you clinging to me doesn't sound too bad, really.
Hiroki, you're too kind!
You misunderstand me. I brush a strand of Alice's dark hair behind the shell of her ivory ear. I'm not being very kind right now.
You aren't?
No, I'm being a leech. I'm sure I would agree with me there. I smile somewhat bemusely, then look to one side. Ayu is still sitting on the piano, singing a heartfelt ballad, but her violet eyes are trained on me. Her voice is throbbing with emotion, backed by Hifumi's gentle caressing of the piano's black and white keys, but on her face she's wearing a fearsome scowl. Ayu's too far away to speak to me, but her glare says, in no uncertain words.
Wow! Are you flirting with even more women, Hiroki? You're so shameless! Drop that!
Ayu's glowing is pretty scary, actually. I mean, she's more bark, no bite, to be honest. Even though, let's not forget, she did come in clutch in one certain situation. She really did come in clutch back then. Anyway, it looks like she's planning to eviscerate me. Sometimes think Ayu might be even more intimidating than Marina. Nah, despite all of her pink she wears. Nah. I don't think that. Let's ignore Ayu for now, though. I'll be sure to give her attention later. You're my main focus right now. I want you to have a good time, Alice. So, would you care to have this dance, milady?
Oh, Hiroki!
Alice sighs dreamily. She looks a bit overwhelmed. I worried for a few moments she might pull away from me and make a break for it, maybe leaving one of her shoes behind. But the moment passes and she eventually smiles.
I would love that!
Yes. This is also nice. I lead Alice out onto the dance floor, then draw her to me. Our bodies press together intimately, Alice's chest against my own. Alice's chest is rather impressive. Yes! And the fancy dress she's wearing doesn't conceal very much of her smooth pale skin. Though I'm wearing a full suit myself, I can feel the warmth of her body through the fabric of my clothes. My fingers meanwhile are pressed against the small of Alice's back, which feels yielding to the touch. When we turn, Alice's hair flutters about her shoulders. A few loose strands of it brush me, and it makes me tremble, as for electrocuted. Our closeness is dizzying. She's captivating. For this ballroom is full of beautiful women, all of them dressed in designer clothes and heaped with expensive jewelry. I think Alice is more striking than all of them.
Oh, I'm very sorry, Hiroki. I didn't mean to stomp on your foot. I hope you don't mind too much. I really am a dummy.
At least she would be, if she wasn't too self-conscious. Alice is working herself up into such a state, her face is starting to turn red. Her dancing isn't the smoothest, but her panicking is making her even more uncoordinated. She looks positively petrified. I'm afraid if I don't do something, she'll freeze up altogether like a statue. I've got to try and inject some self-confidence into this girl's stat. Otherwise, this will have been a wasted venture. It's alright, Alice. Deep breaths.
Hey, is it really? Alright.
There is something hesitant about the way Alice says alright. As for the simple state of alrightness is an alien one to her. Since she's such a warrior, I doubt she often has cause to consider things as being alright. Knowing Alice and her tendency to catastrophize, it seems more likely whenever she makes even a minor mistake, she takes it as a great personal failing on her part. Dude, I'm kinda like that. The harbinger of the end. She really needs to calm down. I don't think I've met any other Succubus more in need of therapy than her. And that includes Ayu, who's probably bipolar. Yeah, it's alright. I'm not angry. Please try to relax. Your shoulders are all stiff. We'll not be able to dance smoothly if you don't calm down.
I know that, but...
Alice sniffles.
Even if I was calm, I doubt I'd be able to dance properly. I'm just not cut out for it.
I'm good with dances like this. I'm not good with, like, the clubbing thing. No, that's not my kind of thing. Definitely. Anyway.
I'm too awkward.
You are a little awkward, yeah, but so am I. I'm not good at this either, but I'm trying to not to let it get to me. Let's just go with the flow.
But everybody else is good at dancing. They all look like professionals. Won't they all judge us?
Maybe they will, but so what? This is a fancy event. Nobody here is going to be petty enough to mock our failures to our faces. At least I hope they won't. Other people's opinions are irrelevant, especially if they have the good grace to keep them inside their heads. You don't know what they're thinking, so it'd be better off not trying to guess. You need to focus on yourself first.
You might be right, but I still feel so self-conscious. My hands are getting all sweaty too.
Alice pulls a face.
I'm really sorry, Hiroki. It was very nice of you to invite me to dance, but I'm just making a mess. You would have been better off if you asked me, lady, after all, or Marina. I'm sure they're much better at this than I am, and...
They might be, but I want to dance with you. You're my partner now, not either of them, so stop comparing yourself. I'm sure you'll be plenty good at dancing. You just need a bit of practice. Oh. Oh. You think maybe we found a profession for her? Being a professional dancer? You know, salsa and so on?
I think you're being a bit too kind to me. But since you decide to put your faith in me, I'll try to live up to your expectations. My heart really is pounding for... It's nerve-wracking, being surrounded by so many people. And your body's so close to mine, Hiroki. I didn't know that the waltz was such an intimate dance. I thought it was more modern than this.
Why the change of music to it like a dramatic one?
I'm starting to get excited.
Oh. Oh. I thought Alice was looking a bit flushed, but I attributed that to general self-consciousness and embarrassment. Maybe I misread the situation for... She isn't getting excited, is she? I've heard my scent is pretty potent as far as human men go, and Alice has had less exposure to it than the other members of my Succubus harem. And maybe this wasn't such a good idea after all. I don't want Alice getting worked up in a public setting like this. She might be into that kind of thing, but I don't want her getting in trouble. Wait, your face is very red, yeah, and your breathing sounds a bit labored. Do you want to sit this out?
We probably should, but now that I have you in my arms, I'm starting to feel greedy. I know my other sisters like you a good deal, but right now I want to keep you all to myself. I like you so much, Hiroki. It's hard to contain myself, especially when you're being so kind to me. I may useless screw up, but you're so sweet. I don't deserve it.
Alice begins to breathe heavily, and her face turns redder still.
But I'm a selfish girl, so I want even more of you. This isn't enough. I want to feel even more of you.
Oi, oi, Alice. I take a staggering step backwards, alarmed by Alice's newfound boldness, and then... Alice's body is jerked forwards. Her slender, delicate body lists to one side. Then she falls. She grabs hold of me, her expression panicked. And then the two of us hit the floor, and we aren't the only ones. While falling, Alice also managed to bring Cosmos down with her. Ah! Let the bodies hit the floor! Let the bodies hit the floor! That's the achievement.
Owie, that thing really hurt.
Cosmos was holding onto a mug of beer before the impact, but she's since spilled it. Now all three of us are dripping wet. Alice's face is horribly flustered, which is understandable, I guess. Alice and I didn't court that many curious looks while we were dancing, but people are definitely staring now. Well-dressed men and women, the men in suits and the woman with coiffured hair glance over alarmed.
My, what did you do?
I hope those girls are right. They look like quite the nasty fall.
Hey, who is that girl in black anyway? Why was the referral like that late in this event? I've no idea how she managed to get her hands on a ticket. I'm not sure why that waitress is dressed like a German barmaid either. It all seems rather tasteless.
Now, let's not judge me to Akatsuki states. I'm sure there was a reason behind that interesting wardrobe choice.
I'm sure there was. I imagine she wanted to appeal to perverts like you, who enjoy the sight of a girl in a short skirt that kanuri, dear. You're so transparent.
Succubi, dear, please be reasonable. There is nothing perverse about enjoying the sight of a girl with nice thighs in a short skirt. That's human nature. It doesn't mean I appreciate you any less for... Here! Gosh, if I'd known the weight stuff at this event would be this attractive, maybe I wouldn't have come to this event with my wife. I'm gonna kick this guy's ass later.
I heard that! Let's not argue, everybody. These two girls have done nothing wrong. They simply got into a bit of scrape. Somebody should help them.
I hope they're injured.
I imagine you hoped it. You're such a philanthropist. Well, don't get your hopes up. I doubt that barmaid will sleep with you if you offer her a hand. Her outfit might be revealing, but I doubt she's that easy.
I was coming for those cheek.
Oh, I'm so sure.
It sounds like a pretty heated arguments being kicked up surrounding Cosmos, for Cosmos herself seems blissfully ignorant of this fact. Instead, she's rubbing her ear and whimpering.
That hurt. You should watch where you're going, Alice. You could have caused some serious harm. I know, I'm so sorry. Really, I am. I didn't mean to knock you over. It was an accident, I swear. I just want to dance with Hiroki, but I messed everything up. I'm such an idiot.
I'd like to rationalize, but I'm in a pretty sticky situation myself. This is pretty embarrassing. A lot of people look intrigued by these turn events, Marina included. Marina was busy talking to a man in a pinstripe suit about what I presume was some important physical matter, but Cosmos' analysis altercation makes her pause. She approaches us, still crumpled on the floor, then pulls her face.
Oh, for goodness sake. This is all I need. Thank you very much for causing a scene during my charity ball, you cretins. I'm sure this won't reflect badly upon me, not at all.
Marina lost her eyes, then zeroes in on Cosmos.
And I was right about that outfit. It really isn't appropriate apparel for an event like this. That skirt is far too short. Well, that was a disaster.
Marina's charity ball has come to an end, and now my small party has retreated to a nearby hotel to rest and relax. Hifumi and Hazel aren't present. They both had to duck out early, but the rest of us are here. Marina, I, Cosmos, Yue, Alice, and I. The six of us are sitting in a fancy suite, which Marina booked. For Marina had numerous rooms booked in advance. Should any of us wish to stay here to recuperate, we are grouped together in one room at the moment. Alice is sitting on the bed beside me, looking rather despondent as per usual. She sighs and sadly she says,
I can't believe I made such a spectacle of myself. It feels like a disaster follows me wherever I go. I'm such an idiot.
It's right, we all make mistakes. Hey now! I give Alice what I hope is a comforting pat on her head. I don't think you're an idiot, even if you are a little bit clumsy. It isn't the end of the world, for we all make mistakes.
I know that, but when a person makes a mistake, as many mistakes I do, it starts to feel, I know, pathologic. There were so many people at the ball, and they all saw me trip over my own feet. I must have looked so stupid. You did not look exactly elegant, no.
Nice outfit.
But try not to pay too much heed. I was upset by all of the drama myself when I first saw what happened. But it could always be worse. Tripping over is not so grievous an offense. The papers might run a few stories on it, but I'm sure the news will die down soon enough. Is that really true? I would presume so. You aren't particularly well known, so I fail to see why any newspaper would want to fixate upon your failings. If I had fallen over meanwhile, it would have been a different matter. That would have caused much more of a stir.
Alice sighs.
You're right, I guess. I really am a nobody. I've been doing my best to stand up, but it hasn't been working. Well, why don't you look on the bright side? What bright side? You might not be well known yet, but if you end up in the papers, more people should know about you. This might actually be beneficial to your career, hehe. She doesn't have a career for what I've gathered. Maybe I'm behind the times, but is it possible to make a career out of making a fool out of oneself?
Have you seen the internet? Unfortunately, it is.
Of course it is. I should know that firsthand, hehe.
No. Cosmos, you are not foolish.
My fans asked me to do all sorts of weird things on camera. Once they got me to blend a meatball sandwich, then drink it.
That doesn't sound good.
I'm sorry, what? I blended a sandwich, then drank it. I did it live while I was dressed up as a maid, hehe. I think my fans thought it would make me vomit, but it actually wasn't that bad. Maybe I could blend a tuna melt next. I'm a cat girl, so I like fishy foods, hehe. Ew! You're free to do whatever you want with your free time, but if you do start blending tuna melts, please don't do it anywhere near me. Think about it makes you want to hell. Well, it wasn't supposed to be yummy. My fans thought it would be gross. And do your fans often make you do gross things, Cosmos?
Sometimes I don't know what to listen for. One guy did promise to pay me a huge amount of money if I sent him a box full of my toenails clippings.
What?
Eh,
I will pulse a face, so do I.
I'm sorry I asked. Is this what it is to be famous? I won't have to drink blended sandwiches and people toenails, will I?
No, I don't think so, no. Cosmos' line of work is simply special, in a way.
Oh, good, good. I was starting to get worried. The sandwich thing does not sound so very awful, at least. But you ought to know, Hiroki, that you're the only person I would send my toenails to.
Please don't.
I don't want anybody else to have access to such an intimate part of me.
That's very flat. Thanks a lot, I guess. That's very flattering question mark.
It's nice in a way that Alice wants to give me preferential treatment, but I can't say I find the idea all that appealing. What would I do with a bunch of her toenail clippings anyway? Wait, don't answer, don't answer. I don't even have an answer to that. I don't want to know. Because I don't know.
I hope my blunder does become common knowledge, though. I don't think I would be able to endure it if people started pointing out at me in the street and called me an idiot.
If people did do that, I would soon take them to our task. Worry not, Alice. For as long as you remain in Japan, I'll try to protect you.
Would you really like you were?
Naturally, you are one of my dear charges, and I'm very fond of you.
I guess that makes me feel a bit better.
Marina Harem's Arkley, Harem's folded.
I rather think you give her too much leeway, You're too soft.
No, she's not.
Why you give that girl so many chances to something of a mystery, given all the pain she has caused us, but...
Because she's looking for her own thing. Arkley, Marina looks at Alice, then after a brief pause she smiles.
I suppose you're not so bad. You have mellowed out quite a bit since our first encounter. You might not be very good at dancing, but your company seems to make Hiroki happy, if nothing else. I think that is valuable.
Oh, thank you very much. I don't think I've done anything all that special for.
That's where wrong, Alice. Making other people happy is an important skill. You might be surprised, but not a lot of people are good at it. There's a whole lot of people out there who are really, really mean. They seem to like upsetting people. You're nice, for I can tell that you think about Hiroki a lot. I just wish you could be a little nicer to yourself.
I agree. Having self-confidence is important as an idol. We'll never be able to make it in the showbiz industry without it. Or any other industry for that matter.
Kinda true.
I think that is your biggest problem, Alice. If you don't have any faith in yourself, how will anybody else?
That is quite a good point. One which I must agree with. If I did not have faith in my own capabilities, then I never have been able to attain the success that I have. A big part of courting the respect and admiration of others is to respect and admire yourself first.
Lady Yue told me that too, and Hiroki, they both tell me to be more confident, but I don't know. All of these setbacks and mishaps make that a bit hard, but I guess I'll do my best. That's the spirit, you can do it, Alice. Now.
Cosmos glances down at herself, smiling sheepishly as she does.
It's been a bit, but I still feel a little sticky after getting all that beer poured on me. Since we've come to this fancy hotel, maybe I ought to make use of the bathroom. I want to see how big it is. And I've heard that places like this always give you a lot of free shampoos and scopes too. I want to try them all out. If I wasn't the clock, maybe I could even stream my bath time for my followers.
Sorry, but I'm going to have to veto that idea. I'll not have you filming yourself half naked in a hotel room that I booked. If the staff found out, I would be the one to get in trouble. And I do not think mixing electronics with water is a good idea. You might be a succubus, but you are not impervious to being electrocuted.
I thought you might say that. Roger, Marina.
Cosmos salutes, Marina smiling all the while.
I won't film myself, but I don't know if I want to bath alone. Do you want to come with me, Alice? You got sticky too, so you might want to wash it off. Oh, yes, that sounds like a good idea. Does it just? Oh, nice. Long socks should be a good way to unwind too. Especially if Hiroki comes with us.
Me?
Yeah, you. Bath time is no fun if you're not around. If I can stream your fast, then I at least want to enjoy myself with you. I worked really hard as a waitress this evening, so I think I deserve a bit of a reward. Won't you come with me? I promise I'll take my time to soap your back up. My wonderful boyfriend.
You bet I was convinced. But, gee, what a day. I seem to be saying that a lot lately, but I think it's a perfectly fair remark to make. Going to large-scale public events always wears me out, particularly when I have to juggle work and pleasure. I'd hope that having bath would help me relax, but... Ooh. Dude, I had to gulp. Let's go.
How does this feel, Hiroki? I'm not scribing too hard, am I? Please let me know if there is something about my technique you dislike, and I'll do my best to accommodate you.
Remember, this is just washing you back. Nothing else is happening here.
You've done so much to help me. It's the least I can do.
It's a bit hard to relax when Alice and Cosmos are here, both of them desperate to please me.
It's alright, Alice. Don't worry so much. I don't think you need to worry about your technique or anything. I mean, you're just cleaning Hiroki's back.
See, told ya.
How hard can it be? It might not be hard for anybody else, but I'm afraid that it'll be difficult for me. I don't know if you notice, but I'm rather good at lousing things up that other people find easy. Well, you do strike me as being clumsy, it's true. But don't look so blue, Alice. Clumsy girls are actually pretty popular. They are? They've played... I've played a lot of visual novels, so I would know. The scatterbrain type who does her best, but who always ends up making mistakes all the same, is a really popular type. Guys like girls who try hard, even in the face of adversity, even if their best attempts don't always bear fruit. They find it appealing. You mean some men are attracted to uselessness? That's right. I've done a lot of research on what guys like, so I'm a bit of an authority on the subject. Their tastes are quite strange, though. I don't usually understand why we got so excited by naked skin when we're all naked underneath our clothes. I don't think it's anything that special. But well, that's just how humans are. They're incomprehensible.
Actually, it's better if there is some clothes on. It's more interesting if there is something left to the imagination. Anyway, privately I think Cosmos is the truly incomprehensible one here, but I decided not to voice it. It will be mean, and it's also unnecessary. I don't want to tear Cosmos down. I'm not like I am.
I see. I can't say understand what it is precisely. But men find appealing, but perhaps I'm not so very hopeless after all. You're not hopeless at all. I think you're very cute. Isn't it right, Hiroki?
Oh yes, Cosmos has a point. You are very appealing, Alice, in your own way. You just need to learn to stop worrying about it so much. This might, I know, be a bit of a tall order, however. Worrying seems to be Alice's MO. She might not be good at cooking, exercising, dancing, but she's very good at stressing herself out. I wonder if that could be her special talent. Man, I hope not. How in the world would Alice be able to monetize that? Is there any discipline where having constant anxious attacks might be a boon rather than a burden? I guess she might make for a good health and safety inspector, what with her ability to dream up worst case scenarios, but that sounds like a grim.
I'm not sure if that will be possible. But I'll do my best. Thank you for cheering me up, you two. You have both been very good to me. To repay you, I'm going to redouble my efforts to wash your back. I hope you enjoyed, Hiroki. I'm going to leave you squeaky clean here. Oh, me too, me too. In fact, why don't we make it a competition? Let's see who can clean up Hiroki the quickest. Yeah. Oh, that sounds like fun. Let's do that then. Alright, one Cosmos cleaning special coming right up. I'll scrub you so thoroughly, all the dirt you accumulate during the night will go flying. Clean me, Hame! Ha!
What the hell? Wow, now that's a pretty retro reference. I didn't know Cosmos was into series aimed at young boys. She seems to prefer edgy, chuny shows beloved by teen boys. I don't remember any chuny character in Dragon Ball on top of my head. And visual novels with distinctly adult audience. I guess she's a woman of broad tastes. Both Alice and Cosmos continue to scrap my back, their chests pressing against my sides. They're getting pretty into this. I thought briefly that it might be nice to bath on my own so I'd have a chance to relax and to gather my thoughts, but...
Whoop! How is this? I'm not applying too much pressure, am I? Are you having fun, Hiroki?
This isn't so bad. Being with Alice can be stressful, but it's decidedly less so when she's dedicated her time to pampering me. Cosmos's company, meanwhile, is always diverting. They make a surprisingly good combination. Alice is neurotic, but Cosmos is cheerfully empty-headed. They cancel one another out quite nicely. I guess Cosmos is the yin to Alice's yang. Or something like that. I don't know, I'm not in the mood to think up any complicated, convoluted similes right now. I'd rather just relax. I think after everything I've endured today, I deserve it. Me and Sakura games. Let's relax. My bath concluded, I make my way back to my hotel room. Today was pretty busy and I feel exhausted. The bath didn't do much to invigorate me. The warm water was nice, but things got a little steamy in more ways than one. I feel more tired than I did before. I changed my nightclothes, my fingers fumbling, then lie down beneath my sheets. This a high-class hotel, and the bed feels very soft as a result. It's a lot nicer than my thin, threadbare futon back in my crowded apartment. This hotel is insulated from the cold, so I feel pretty cozy. I might as well be drifting on a cloud. I'm reminded of the bed back in Astoria's Palace, which I stayed in a few months ago. The mattresses there were unparalleled, but this isn't half bad. I've only been lying down for a few minutes, but I can already feel my consciousness escaping me. I yawn, my eyelids falling shut. I'm just about to pass out when... Uh-oh.
Excuse me, Hiroki. I apologize for bothering you this hour, but there is something I would like to discuss with you. Are you still awake?
I groaned, my eyelids fluttering open. I didn't realize just how close I was to sweet abyss of sleep until that knocking, coupled with that voice, tore me away from its precipice. How annoying. I don't think I'll be able to fall back to sleep again. Not with that continued knocking, so I might as well answer them. I'm up, it's alright. I sit up in my bed and grow for the lamp on my bedside table. The lights are bright, enough to be blinding, and I have to blink a few resultant white spots away from my vision. My head's starting to hurt. Maybe I drank a little too much at the ball. I head over to the door to let my mistress guess in, calling out to them as I do. I'm coming, who is it?
You can tell based only upon the cadences of my voice. I'm somewhat disappointed in you, Hiroki darling. I suppose it is rather late, perhaps your brain is not working. I will let you off the hook for now at least. But if you continue to disappoint me, I mightn't be so lenient. Ooh.
Ah, I recognize that eerie giggle. That can belong to anybody other than... Marina.
That's right. I'm glad to recognize me at long last, for it took a bit of a doing. Now would you be a dear and let me inside?
Sure, just a sec. I fumble with the handle for a few moments. I feel so tired, my hand-eye coordination is a little screwy, before I'm finally able to pull the door ajar. Marina is standing in the doorway, attired not in her formal gown, but a rather more casual attire, a pastel sweater and a plaid skirt. This is the same getup she wore back in Astoria when she was in Stefania's palace. These cool blue colors suit Marina well, the contrast with her dark skin and they set off her eyes. Marina looks very pretty despite the lateness of the hour. Her face is carefully made up, her eyes smoky and her lips plump with lipstick. I was feeling pretty exhausted after my touchy-feely bath time with Cosmos and Alice, but seeing Marina has ignited something within me. She looks so perfect at all the hours, it's a bit ridiculous. I have no idea how she does it.
Hiroki darling, I know I rented you at a late hour, but I would appreciate if you would stop gawping at me and let me inside your room. It is impolite to keep a lady waiting.
Right, I clear my throat, red-faced, then step back to allow Marina enter my hotel room. I'm sorry about it, I must be away with the fairies.
That is quite alright. I'll forgive you, Hiroki, for being so very distracted on account of how lovable I find you. For if you were any other man, your contact with a black mark against you.
Giggling, Marina entered my hotel room. Then glanced about, her gaze discerning.
The interior of this room is adequate, I suppose.
Only adequate? I thought this place was pretty fancy myself.
Oh, darling, you have much to learn about what constitutes high class. This room is nice enough, yes, but it cannot hold a candle to the suite that I booked for myself. The view is passable, I suppose, and everything looks clean enough, but it is lacking a certain je ne sais quoi song,
Or however you say that.
Still, I suppose it will serve my purpose well enough.
Your purpose being? I can't help but notice Marina green eyes flickering over to the bed. Taking a nap with me. Nice. She doesn't want to get all up close and personal, does she? If that's her end goal, I don't think I'd mind too much, but Marina doesn't seem to have any designs on my innocence, not right now at least. Instead, she takes a sit up on the edge of my bed, without waiting for my invitations, and says,
I want only to talk. There is a matter I feel I must discuss with you.
A matter? That sounds kind of important. Did something happen?
Not yet, no. This is more of a case of something not happening. Oh, but first.
Marina clicks her fingers, and then she does. Her clothes melt away from her body to reveal her skin-tight succubus attire. A pair of devilish wings, meanwhile, seem to sprout from her back, and a tail protrudes from her rear. If this wasn't a sight I was accustomed to, I'd probably freak out after witnessing this, but as it is, I'm kind of used to it.
That's much better. It can be hard on me to conduct myself in the guise of a human for so very long, and I'm one of the more powerful succubi there is. It is rather draining on my stamina. Now I feel like I can finally relax. You don't mind, do you, darling, if I lounge about in this state? My undressed body is not too distracting, is it?
No, it's fine. Absolutely fine. I'm used to it, after all. Which isn't to say that Marianne isn't sexy because she is, but I can keep myself under control. I'm not a hormone-addled teenager anymore. So what brings you here, stranger?
Well, let me see.
Marina ponders, all while toying with strand of her long, fair hair.
It's a bit of a thorny issue, and it won't, I'm afraid, be very much fun to talk about. It is quite serious, as a matter of fact, but feel like it is something that must be discussed for my own peace of mind. This is about Alice.
What's wrong with Alice? Well, there are many things wrong with Alice, but I'd like to know what is it that has Marina so worried. What's been playing on her mind?
There are any number of things wrong with Alice. Her anxiety, her awkwardness being two key factors.
It would appear Marina's on similar wavelength to me. At least we both know how Alice has problems. I'm not sure whether this common knowledge will be of any benefit, but it's nice to know we're united on this front.
But I did not come here to discuss with you her personal defects, of which there are many. First, I want to thank you for keeping an eye on her. I doubt that Alice is the easiest person to spend time with, but you've done an admirable job of staying with her and cheering her on.
She's great. Alice is great. It's fine. I like being with Alice. Oh, that's right. You don't need to thank me. It's not like I'm looking out for her in any great imposition. I like her, so it's fine.
I'm glad that you like her. She needs somebody too, as I fear she does not like herself very much.
I do get the feeling, yeah, she's pretty down on herself.
Indeed she is, and therein lies the part of the problem. If only she had more confidence in herself, I think others would have more faith in her in return. But I digress. You've been very good to her. I only hope that you can continue to stay with her. I think she needs your support.
I've been doing my best, but I'm pretty concerned about her. I'm not sure if she's been settling down so well into her new life in Tokyo, and she's always so hard on herself. I don't think it can be very good for her well-being.
Well, I concur with you on that point. I too am worried about Alice.
You are?
Yes, indeed. This is the real reason why I came to speak to you. I fear if she doesn't carve out of a niche for herself in Japan's entertainment industry soon, she will be in danger.
Is Alice's situation that dire as all that?
Things are looking rather dicey, yeah. I can already sense Alice's magical energy beginning to deplete.
You can tell stuff like that.
Of course.
It is an ability innate to all of us Succubi. We can sense how powerful our fellow Succubi are just from a glance, if they're in close enough proximity. By the by, I'm one of the most powerful Succubi in Japan at the moment. Discounting Lady Ue, of course. Lady Ue might not be famous in the human realm, but she's very famous among all of us Succubi. We all know of her, as much as I wish I did not, and many of our number adore and revere her. That gives Lady Ue an unfair advantage. She does not need to worry about courting the approval of humans, not like the rest of us. She can sustain herself solely on her status as a ruler. It is not so easy for the rest of us, though. It is imperative that we make names of ourselves. Otherwise, our reserves of magical energy will begin to dwindle, and we will start to sicken. If our magical energy drops too low, then we will become so physically weak we can hardly move. In worst case scenarios, we can even die. Fortunately for us, however, there are ways around this.
And how can we do that?
We Succubi need only to return to the Succubus realm. The magical energy is much denser there than it is in the human realm, and it replenishes us. If a Succubus wishes to remain in the human realm, however, then they must try to seek out a degree of fame. Without it, there is no way for us to maintain our magical energy.
We kind of knew that already, so... Right, I get it. And you think Alice's magical energy is diminishing?
I do not just think, I know that it is. This is a fact. As I said, I'm a Succubus, and we can all tell such things. Alice is very weak. She has so little energy. I'm surprised she was able to dance at all during my charity event. This might explain why she fell over, though, and why she's so very clumsy. Her body is beginning to deteriorate. If she cannot turn this situation around quickly, Alice will have no other choice but to return to her Succubus realm. Having her hang about in her current state is risky enough as it is.
Then do you think I ought to tell her to go back home?
I wonder about that.
Marina frowns contemplatively.
Alice might be an anxious, awkward girl, but I get the feeling that she's also rather stubborn. She seems determined to succeed here, no matter what. And she's very fond of you too, darling. That much cannot be discounted. I've seen the way that she clings to you.
That's a good point. I guess I don't know if Alice would want to go back in a hurry. But if going to the Succubus realm will replenish her energy, then maybe she ought to do that? I don't want her to suffer, not for the sake of spending a few more days with me. Sure, that might sound romantic on paper, but I don't want anybody's blood on my hands. If Alice succumbed to a magical wasting disease on my account, I feel awful. Heck, I feel awful just contemplating it as a possibility. It's sweet that Alice likes me as much as she does, but I think she needs to like herself more too. What's with her sense of self-preservation anyway? Does it even exist?
Yeah, I thought you might say that, but perhaps you ought not to worry too much.
What? I'm sorry, Marina, but let me get this straight. You're saying that Alice might die if she doesn't start getting more popular, but I shouldn't worry about that.
Well, no, that is not quite what I mean. The situation is very worrying, I will concur. But Alice is not alone. She gets the support of Liyue, after all, and she has you too.
Well, yeah, of course she does. I'm going to stay by Alice's side no matter what. I really do want her to succeed, but I don't see what I can do really. I don't have any way of replenishing her magical energy beyond the obvious. But I can only do that so much. My own energy isn't infinite.
Well, I am aware of that, darling.
Coyly, Marina giggles.
But I was not speaking of your prowess, impressive though it is.
Thank you, thank you. What were you referring to then?
Why, to your own tenacity. You're a hard-working man yourself who never gives up, and you have been known to make the impossible possible. If anybody can support Alice through these trying times, I'm certain that you can. With you by her side, I doubt she has anything to worry about. I know that I'm not overly worried, at least.
Well, I'm glad for the vote of confidence. Awkwardly, I smile. But what's this about making the impossible possible? I wasn't aware that I had any special powers like that.
Oh, but Hiroki, you do, indisputably. You've been able to make Ayu honest, which is no mean feat. After accomplishing that, I really do think you can do anything. I doubt there is any task more challenging than extracting honest replies from a contrary woman like Ayu. Surely it's difficult, hehe.
True. Meanwhile...
Do you have any sevens?
Nope, go fish.
Gee, what a pain! Alright, then it's your turn. What do you want from me?
Now let me see. I wonder. Ayu?
What is it?
Don't have me for this, but... Do you have any sixes?
What? How could you do Achoo! Wow, that was a very big sneeze. Are you alright, are you? I'm alright. I just got the feeling that somebody might be talking about me. Well, you are a super popular idol. Isn't to be expected that people would be talking about you? No, not like that. I don't mean it in a vague sense. I'm certain somebody is talking about me right now. Somebody very, very close by. And I don't think they talk about me in a flattering terms either. I wonder if Hiroki would know anything about this. Maybe I should go and see him. I'll never forgive him if he's been besmirching my good name in my absence. Do you think Hiroki would do something like that? He's an honest, upfront guy. He's not the sort to talk about people behind their backs. I know that, but what if that wicked snake marina is trying to turn him against me? I won't stand for that. We need to go and have some stern words. What? But tell you what about their game? I don't care about their stupid game. You can fish up on your own. This is much more important. Bet I can play Go Fish on my own. It's a two-player game at the bare minimum, and I was winning too. Oh, cry me a river! There are more important things in life than Go Fish, Cosmos, my reputation included. People who talk smack deserve to get smacked. You're not going to smack Marina, are you? It depends on what she's been up to with Hiroki. Alright, I'll wish you good luck with that. But Marina is kind of scary, you know. I don't think she'll let you intimidate her. You might be walking into trouble. As if a little thing like that has ever stopped me. I'm not a coward, and I'm definitely not afraid of Marina. What's a saggy old witch like that going to do a pretty awful idol like myself? I'll be just fine. Alright, whatever you say. I'll be rooting for you, Olfu. Ali was a few moves away from winning. I thought the loser was going to buy the winner a drink. I was looking forward to my banana milkshake too.
Meanwhile. Oh.
How do you feel now, Hiroki? Are you relaxed?
Yeah, that feels pretty good, actually. Thanks, Marina. I smile at Marina contentedly, my lips curved into a small smile. My head is lying on Marina's lap, which feels very soft and warm. Marina's chest is hovering tantalizingly above my face, and her long hair is brushing softly against my cheeks. This is very relaxing. I've rested my head on Hiromi's lap before, and I've let her rest her head in my lap in turn, but this is the first time I've ever received such a service from Marina. Marina's thighs might be a little thicker than Hifumi's actually, which makes this feel even better. I'm in heaven, man. Is there any guy out there more fortunate than I am? No. At this moment, I'd struggle to believe it.
Oh, it is no problem. You do not need to thank me for looking after you. This is something I wish to do of my own volition, after all, because I enjoy it. You work so very hard, Hiroki. I think you deserve a bit of peace and quiet. Looking after you, Alice, these last few days cannot have been an easy feat, and neither imagine is spending time with you.
Lou isn't that bad. I know she isn't very polite when she talks to you.
That is putting it rather mildly, I fear.
But she's agreeable enough when she talks to me, at the very least.
Well, that does not come as any particular surprise. You is to face like that. She can be polite and ingratiating towards those whom she wishes to carry favors from, but she doesn't care one whit for me. You should count yourself lucky, I suppose, that she cares for you so much. Otherwise, Adapt should offer you any respect either.
I guess not. Though it's kinda weird that she respects me at all, given she's a queen. I'm nothing really compared to her.
Oh, Hiroki.
Marina's green eyes soften.
I think that you're selling yourself too short. I think you have no shortage of talents.
Really?
Well, of course, we are able to get along well with any number of Succubi, despite our rather forceful personalities. I think that is impressive. Most humans would struggle to satisfy us, much less many of us. You're truly remarkable. In fact, you must be aware of herself for her to clamor for your attention so much. It is rather incredible that you do not realize this yourself. But I suppose your humility is part of your charm. I do not think I would be half so fond of you if you were an arrogant, egotistical man. I see more than enough of those on a daily basis in the boardroom. I have no desire to waste my free time on similar men.
Well, I'm glad I can give you a bit of a break from all of those big wigs at least.
Being with you is very soothing indeed.
That's why I enjoy spending time with you. For I fear my Succubus sisters, including you, share similar sentiments. That's why we...
Sorry.
That's why we keep fighting for your attention. I hope it does not get too tiring for you, having to satisfy all of us.
Nah, I'm fine, I think. It can be a lot of juggle, but that's only cause my time is finite. My patience isn't at risk of running out, so you don't need to worry on that score. I want to keep loving all of you so much as I can. You're all wonderful women. The individual members of my Succubus Harem might not all get along with one another. In some cases, in fact, like Marie and Hue, they downright despite one another, but I like them all. How can I not, when they are all so eager to please? I'm starting to feel a little sentimental actually, as I ponder how much these Succubi mean to me when...
Hey Hiroki, what in the world is going on?
The sound of the door slamming makes me jolt upwards of Marina's lap. I turn my head, feeling distinctly out of sorts. I was just starting to drift off. Damn it! And... Oh. I see Ayo. Everybody's favorite, question mark, twin-tailed tsundere standing in the entrance of my hotel room, her hands on her hips.
She was wearing her casual clothes, but her outfit is melting before my eyes to reveal her Succubus attire. On her face, meanwhile, there is a fearsome skull. Now, why does she look so pissy? I guess there is only one way to find out! Really, Fo? Did she use her Succubus manage to get inside my hotel room? That's pretty low. At least Marina had the decency to knock on the door. What's wrong, Kaio? Is something bothering you?
Oh yes, something's bothering me. Very much so. You and Marina haven't been gossiping about me behind my back, have you?
Not really. I was talking about a lot of things with Marina. You might have come up, but we weren't talking exclusively about you. But why do you want to know that?
Don't I have the right to know it, huh? If you've been gossiping about me behind my back, then I'd like to know what that gossip involves. I hope you're not been spreading any nasty rumors about me, Marina, in an attempt to make me look bad. I know you're an old, washed-up has-been, but that's no excuse to put me down using sneaky, underhanded tactics. You're supposed to be a mature, sophisticated lady, so I was hoping you wouldn't resort to playground bullying. That's low.
Hey, Squared. I'll thank you not to barge in on me and Hiroki when we're having a private heart-to-heart. What we were discussing has nothing to do with you, and, like Hiroki said, we did not speak of you in any great detail. We have already exhausted the topic, in fact. I'm not, contrary to what you might believe, spent my every waking hour thinking about you and talking about you. The world does not revolve around you. I mean, yeah. Now, if that is all you wanted, I would ask you to shoo. The adults are talking.
Why you?
Ayu grits her teeth together.
I'm an adult too, you know. I might dress cute, but I'm not a little kid. You don't need to talk down to me like that. But maybe you can help it. I've heard acting high and mighty is something old people tend to do to make themselves feel better about the aging process.
Here we go again.
If being self-important makes you happy, then maybe I ought to let it slide. I doubt you have much else to look forward in your miserable life other than arthritis.
Why you?
Marina's green eyes flash with fury, indignation, and her teeth grit together.
I'm not even a full decade older than you are.
So it's close to decade, it's interesting.
No, but it's almost a decade. We belong to two different generations.
Wait, so is it like Marina here, Ayu here, and we are in the middle? Age-wise? I wonder. Because I would assume we are in the game older than Ayu, obviously. We are younger than Marina. They are like almost a decade. So maybe we are right in the middle. So basically you're telling me the age difference between one and the other is healthy. Let's go.
Yes, well, You really ought to learn to respect your elders and betters.
Oh, it's definitely my elder, but are you my better? I really do wonder.
Yes, she is.
Would you like to test that and find out?
Their communist energy begins to crackle around Marina and her green eyes start glowing.
We could have a competition of sorts to determine which of us is the most powerful, but I'm certain you would lose. You might talk big, but you do not have the raw ability to back it up. Compared to me, you will always be a little girl.
And you will always be a sad old woman.
Alright, that does it. If you think you can talk to me like that and get away with it, you are sorely mistaken. I'll make you regret those words if ever left your mouth. You jumped up self-important pipsqueak.
Marina raised her right hand, perhaps meaning to unleash a volley of evil Succubus magic. I guess I tell you, but I hasten to put a halt to this. I don't want Marina causing Ayu any harm. Or worse, causing this hotel room any harm. Hotel above Ayu. This hotel is a fancy one, and I shudder to think how much it would cost if this room sustained any damage. My meager savings would never be able to cover it. Alright, you two. That's enough. Please calm down.
Oh,
Marina starts at this, then draws back. She looks a little surprised, both at my intervention and by her own behavior. Letting her arm drop to her side, she surveys Ayu, then says in a farmical tone that I would usually associate with her.
I am very sorry, Ayu, for losing my cool like that. It was immature of me. I suppose I ought to know that you often say silly things to rile people up. I should not let myself fall for it so easily, not when I'm supposed to be a grown woman.
Oh, no,
Now it's Ayu's turn to look uncharacteristically humbled.
It was unfair of me too, calling you names like that. You haven't done anything wrong. I've just been kind of stressed lately, I guess, so I took things out on you, but that wasn't right of me. As an idol, I should act like this. I shouldn't act like this. It's my job to ensure that people all across the world are happy, but
Ayu bites her lower lip.
it's hard to do that when I'm not happy myself.
You aren't. Is something bothering you?
You could say that, yeah. I've been really busy lately. What with the promotion of my latest single? It feels like I've barely had a chance to rest since Christmas. My PR team has been pushing me ever since Mika Shizuru released her surprise comeback single. She got a lot of eyeballs on her and it tanked my sales. I've had to rush to get the spotlight back on me, and while it seems to have worked, things are kind of uncertain. I've been fretting about my career, and I guess I've been worried about my personal life too.
What about your personal life? I frown. Is something bothering you?
You could say that. Alice is younger than I am. Maybe
Funny that you mentioned that.
maybe some people think she's prettier. And she's all over you.
To be fair, all of the girls here are super attractive, let's face it.
I'm worried you'll start liking her more than you like me.
I do. I actually do, but, you know.
Especially since she has more free time to spend with you than I do. I've been rushed off my feet, but she has nothing but kill time to kill.
I wouldn't say that she's trying to find her way.
I've been so busy with work, I've barely had an opportunity to see you, so it makes me worry, just a little, that I might wind up being replaced. Seeing the two of you together, you and Alice, has been a bit galling. I guess that's why I reacted the way I did. I'm worried.
Well, you aren't the only one busy with work. I love my job, but it is rather demanding.
Wow, you love your job? That's something I'm jealous about.
But it is rather demanding. It has been taking its toll on me, too. And I am similarly upset that I cannot spend much time with my darling Hiroki. It is quite a sorry state of affairs, being pulled between my work life and my personal life. I still need to find a better way to balance it. My own PA worries I work so much I will one day burn myself out.
To be honest, that's doable even if you don't work supposedly so much.
I'm glad you relate. I never thought we had so very much in common. Marina, but I guess I understand where you're coming from. I've got to grow up eventually. But I don't really want to.
Understandable.
I don't want to become irrelevant, but...
Ayu affixes me with a meaningful look, one hand resting on her chest.
Will you still like me, Hiroki? Even I have to stop being an idol someday.
I mean, to be quite honest, I would say that's a plus if she stops being an idol at some point. Of course I will. You're not a cell phone, are you? Or a new car. You're important to me, and I'm not going to throw you away and get a new one. That will be callous. I mean... he might find a new one for without throwing you away. I like you too much to abandon you. Agree, then give one of Ayu's long pigtails a playful tug. Why? Even if you do make that quite difficult at times with your short temper.
Yes, Hiroki has a point. You can be very hard to like sometimes. But I know, despite all of your bravado, you are a kind, considerate girl. Why you insist on never showing the best part of yourself, however, is something of a mystery. It is almost as though you delight in making other people unhappy. Maybe part of me does. I get tired of having to act peppy all the time when I'm performing. It gets a little tedious. But I guess I can try to be nicer. I don't want to be sullen and sulky forever. I suppose that is a good start. I'm glad you know of your flaws, at least. That should give us a good starting point to fix some of them. Would you really be willing to help me? Of course. You're one of my Succubus sisters, after all, and I do care for you. Certainly I found you more palatable than our queen. You might be grumpy, but I forgive you. It's not like I was looking for forgiveness or anything really, but... Thank you, Marina, for being so understanding. It's very nice of you. It's no problem. I might not be as patient as Hifumi, but I'm always willing to help my younger Succubus sisters if they so desire it. That being the case,
Marina looks Ayu up and down and says,
if you're worried about Hiroki tiring of you, why don't we do something to remind him of just how appealing you really are? Huh? What do you mean by that? You cannot guess?
Marina chuckles.
You ought to have some idea what I'm thinking. You are a succubus, if you do make a living skipping around on stage in a pink frilly skirt. You are not as innocent as you look. And I know, for you like to pretend you are above carnal affairs. Your desire for Rock is every bit as insatiable as any other succubus.
And that's why they slept together in one bed.
Later that night.
Told ya. Us three together, achievement unlocked. Good night, sweethearts. Cute.
Christmas, no! I don't wanna dress like a frog! No, I don't get it, it's stupid! I'm not gonna paint myself green!
Marina's thigh, so thick. I wonder what she's dreaming about. I smile myself amused as Ayu clings to me. Her arms are wound around my waist in a possessive manner, and our legs are entwined beneath the sheets. Her chest, meanwhile, is pushed up against my arm, in a rather appealing manner. She feels good, lying against me.
I'm not going to say poggers either! What does that even mean? Leave me alone, you frog-loving weirdo!
For the things she's muttering in her sleep are baffling. I have absolutely no idea what she's talking about, but maybe that's for the best. I'm not sure if I want to know why she's dreaming about frogs, or green body paint, or poggers. Whatever that is. Ayu isn't the only person sharing my bed either. Marina is lying on my other side, her chest pressed against my arm. Marina's long white hair tumbles across the pillows and the mattress, and her gentle exhalations ghost against my neck. Marina, unlike Ayu, isn't mumbling incoherent nonsense in her sleep. She's being a lot more dignified, which suits Marina to the T.
Lying in bed with these two beauties is pretty soothing. They're both good girls. For Marina is more of a woman than a girl. She's a few years older than I am. A few. Nevertheless, no matter what they are, they're both kind and considerate in their own ways. And I'm glad to know the both of them. They're both concerned about Alice, and if they keep looking out for her, I'm sure she'll be alright. How could she not, with a couple of wonderful older sisters like this? It's with this thought in my mind that my consciousness at last begins to slip away. A yawn forces its way from my own parted lips. And I fall fast asleep. I fall fast asleep, and here is where we end the episode. The next day we'll find out what's going to happen tomorrow. That is correct indeed. So yeah, this was a lengthier video. Which I actually had to like kind of separate and record on 2 days, given that I started late the previous one, the first part in a way of this one. Now actually it took me 15 minutes to finish it up. But it's fine. Anywho, let's end it for today. Tomorrow we are getting to the next episode, which I'm not sure, but which might be the last one as well. We'll find out. We will find out tomorrow. For now, hope you enjoyed, and of course, if you did, you know, consider liking the video, subscribe if you're new around. That was always appreciated, of course. That's pretty much it. I wish you all a wonderful day. Bye bye.